All right, folks. Change is a-coming. Now let's see what people fuss about now. The hair's gone. We've changed the look. But this here, this hasn't gone away. Very rare to find people of heart. Hey, Nikki. I thought you were going to give me grief for chopping my hair. Come on, folks. I want them to come in like a flood today. I look like an old man now. Hi, Tammy. I did it, Tammy. You happy? Hi, stars. Look at that, Tammy. Where's Lara Shia? That's the one I'm waiting for. Her too. Michael's still Michael. That's right. My head does feel lighter. It's going to be weird when I get up and go to the bathroom in the morning. I'm going to scare myself and go, oh. Yep, you're right, Fred. 8:35, how are you? Thank you. Yep, see? Now we got everything rocking in the world, man. But it'll go back. Mimi, I just did it. It's clean, man. My face smooth as a baby's bottom. Michael had to do it. It needed to be done. It was tangling up, it was frizzed out, and I was getting annoyed with it. And when you go through a season change like I have, a drastic one, it's time to change some things. I burned some leftover wood and stuff in the burn barrel today. Hi, Doggy. Hi, Tony. Thank you, Junior. You mean my no hair? Yeah, it does, Karen. Can I get a job now? Probably. Well, except when the sun hits right down. But yes, in the shade, it's nice. Thank you, Najee's naughty pantry eggs. That kills me. Naughty pantry eggs. I knew it was going to shock everybody. Hey, Tyler. You're playing Warzone. Your recent video is listed as private. Yeah, I put it up for a little bit. I'm going to go back and forth with that, but it will always be there. That was the video that got me fired. I thought I'd upload it. Because it was somebody else's. And it was sent back to me. So I got a phone copy of it. Yeah, that's right. Yes, stars. No, I didn't, Curly. And that I showed that to my lady that cut my hair. Because the last time I saw her for trim, she said, do you have that? I said, yeah, there was nobody in the store. So I played it. She looked at it and she goes, man, you said the truth. She told me a story about working for a place local here where the women were trying to get the white people out. And she said, I filed a complaint down to discrimination. She said, it doesn't get your job back, but if they get enough of those lodged, they start to investigate. Hi, Sydney. I got it cut today. Thank you. I want to see, because it was tangled and it was frizzy and it was all, spent too much time. And it's the channel, we're getting the views. And it's distracting from what I'm going to talk about. Too much distraction over hair and stuff. Too much. I want people to focus on the issues, because we're living in stupid times. Stupid times. Yeah, and you know, it's too much. We need to talk about these issues. You know, I'm not here to be a Mark Dice. I'm not here to be a Benny Johnson. I'm here to be Michael Nelson. Let's grow this channel. Let's get this thing out there. Because this stuff is from the heart. Oh yeah, Sydney, you're right. But Sydney, do you still love me, Sydney? It's a totally different look, man. Totally different look. End times, absolutely done, 100%. So weird. I reach up and scratch and it's not there. That's wild. Yeah. Stars, I like that. I've never heard that said. That's a compliment. I like that. Yes, Ario, it was time for change. It was getting shaggy, raggedy, frizzy, tangly, too much. Now we can focus on stuff. I knew when I put that short up there and I showed the two videos, the one where she braided it up and saved that part for me and she cut that off and then all around the barber chair, man, it was a lot of hair. I stood there and like, wow. A polar bear shedding its coat. It does. Thank you, Powder Puff. But that's what we want. We need a okay. We need a pull people out of this country that are on a conservative vibe and are sick of what's going on in our culture. We want to pull people out of their comfort zones, and even the ones that hate, we hope to God that even though they come in here with ill intent, something might get through. I'm not Charlie Kirk, but I'm Michael Nelson. And I believe that God has given me a way of articulating that can reach some. I'm not a Charlie Kirk, and it's not my job. And this is not Turning Point. This is Michael Nelson. My shtick is different than his. I'm unconventional. I'm unvarnished. I'm not polished and glossed over. I don't beat around the bush. We tell it like it is. I'm vulnerable. I'm honest. I'm genuine. This is real talk. Not that other channel. This is real talk where I don't hide me. A lot of those other people are hiding behind something. They're not going to let themselves be vulnerable. They're not going to talk about their own struggles. They're not going to do that. That's okay. That's their thing. I'm not here to bash. Who's this young man imitating? What are you talking about, Ario? I know, Tammy, and I respect you. And that's what Charlie did. He had people that did not like him, but they showed up and they listened. So I respect you. And I've never driven you off because that's not my intent. I mean, yeah, I want to draw people of like minds, but I also want to draw in. If you're preaching to the choir, you're not successful. Yes, Jason. Hey, Erica, if you're just preaching to the choir, that's all this country's, it just seems to be. Everybody groups up with their little comfort zone. I want people in here that are not liking what I say. I might break through. Just maybe. Or forget about me. Maybe God will break through. Thank you, Ario. Me? Tammy, I don't hate you at all. No, I am not hateful. My passion, my energy, and my intensity, people. That's awesome, Karen. I don't think he was hateful, Tammy. I will defend him on that. I watched his videos. He was very confident what he believed. Did you hear the way some of those people he gave the microphone? I mean, they were calling him the F word and shrieking at him. He gave them the mic. They were hateful. And that's just my observation. He was very confident. He was very, sometimes he cut him off because he'd heard enough that no. When you're the host, you let people talk. But if you're a good host, you can't let them rabbit trail. So what I try to tell people here, and I'm glad you don't think I'm hateful, but I'm going to defend Charlie. I don't believe he was hateful. I don't believe that. I don't see that. Why would he go into colleges and sit down and try to engage students into thinking beyond what the narrative is? If he didn't have love in his heart, he wouldn't do that. That's just my take. You know, and that's what we wanted to find, Tammy and everybody. And I appreciate Tammy for being here, because you know what? I in no way want to drive you out. You've been respectful to me. This is what we need to learn in this country. Now, I say some harsh things about Democrats. I'm going to apologize for that. They're saying harsh things about us, okay? But when we have people in this room that are not attacking me, I don't want to attack them. You know, it's like when you got a gathering and all the birds fly up and sit on the edge of the roof. Why are you going to chase the birds away? Why? They're not bothering anybody. Let them sit there and watch and listen. That's good. If part of a successful speaker is you got to be able to draw a crowd, even of people who don't agree with you. Because again, if you're just preaching to the choir, then I got a bunch of groupies in here, we all agree and nothing's happening. It's a broken record. Think about that. If everybody agrees with me, and we can't pull people in on the outside, we're not doing anything. And we got a lot of churches like that. We got a lot of political people like that. We got a lot of Democrats and Republicans like that. They want to group up with everybody. Yep, you're right. But are you reaching anybody out there? I talk about the wolves out there. And there's some wolves, you have to treat them as wolves. You don't go up and pet them. You know, you got to be armed. You got to be ready for them. But then you got the ones that want to break from the pack. They're curious. They walk to the edge of the forest and go, wait a minute, what is this over here? That's it. If you know, I remember years ago when I had my Pacific Ocean Asia channel, I had a woman in there. She smoked pot. She had her cat on the table. She criticized the hell out of me all the time. She said, I do not agree with anything this guy says, but I can't stop listening to him. And I clapped. I said, that is awesome. That is awesome. That's the thing. I mean, yeah, some people come in here surely for entertainment value, and part of that's my fault. I've done some off-the-wall things, and people come in and go, what the heck is all this? But there's been a few people in here that came in here and said, I don't agree with you, but you do make some points. Tammy, I'm good with you, man. You don't ever have to be defensive with me. Not saying you are. I was waiting for you, Larashia. I thought, wait till Larashia. I said to Mom, and he goes, oh, she's going to love it. Thank you, Denise. Wow, Denise even came back. Yep, downrange, yes. I knew Larashia's all happy. Larashia's going, I'm moving to Georgia. I'm going to move to Georgia now. Michelle. OMG-oodness. Sometimes you just gotta. It's getting ratty. It's getting tangly. And, yeah. I hemmed and hawed and I thought, go get it done. It'll be good for the channel. It'll be good for a lot of things. Wash and go, baby. No more playing and putzing around with that. Noodles again. Everybody's going to be going, look at this. Mikey Michael. And we want, this is good stuff to add. 90 seconds in the Mickey. Jasmine rice is good. Thank you, Neeks. Watchdog, what happened? Because we're getting it together. No, we ain't gonna get no nasty scalp. I need to find myself like a bandana wrapping around my head and look like a pirate. I know, Shannon, but it'll go. You can't put sunscreen on it. There's hair up here. Of course, I could spray that banana boat stuff. Then it'll be all in the hair. Were you watchdog? I don't want you worried. I know Larishia. See, Larishia and Tammy pleased with my hair. That's it, man. Hello, Lady Sky. How are you? Thank you, Quillfish. I appreciate that. I've got to open up 2 cans. You remember back in the day we had electric can openers? And we don't do it no more. And they used to last forever. These hand ones, though, I've gone through one since I've been here. They are not made the same. I had a good one for like 20 years. You don't wet it. You don't put it in the water. And that thing worked good. Stayed sharp. These new ones you buy at the store, crap. Absolute crap. I knew everybody's going to be shocked. So I posted a picture of the mess around the barber chair and my braided tail that she cut off for me. Besides, you know, it's good to do that every so often, get all the lice and ticks and bugs out of your hair, you know. And I hope you all know I'm joking. I'm clean. I don't do buggy boo in the hairdo. Thank you, Lady Sky. Really, Quillfish. Really? I thought I'd look older. You think I look younger? I looked at myself, I thought, man, I look like an old turtle now. Old turtle, I look like my uncle. Now when I call my uncle, I tell him I shaved it, uncle. Relax. Do I, Neeks? Larishia, you cracked me up. So I joked to Mom. I sent everybody the barber chair picture. Where is it? That's what's left of my crowning glory. I got it in my bedroom. I don't know if anybody would buy that or not. She cut away that piece. I said, save it. I don't know if anybody can do anything with it. Colette, because it was time for a change. Thank you, Cassidy. I was shocked when I looked down at the barber chair. Look at that. What a mess. Oh my gosh. All my locks. Kind of sad. I actually looked down for a minute and I got sad. That's been a part of me for 3 years. All that hair. Thick and red and blonde. Look at that. Unbelievable. Hair today, gone tomorrow. I don't smoke. Nope. Just time for a change. It is, Dexter. Sometimes you just gotta. And there we are. I think it'll be good for the channel. Now they won't be able to talk about the hair no more. So we'll see what they come in here blasting. Thank you, Al. 3 years, Colette. Thank you, Garen. I appreciate that. Thank you, Steve. Denise, I'm glad you're here. Massive? No, my head just looks small because all the hair's gone. I look like a dang pinhead. End of an era. Why do I say what? Looks like a naughty schoolboy now, Mike. By the way, oh, really? What did I say? Mac and cheese, tuna fish, rice, and peas and carrots. Shoot. Somebody want to pay me good money, I'll wrap it up in a bag and mail it to you, and you can do with it what you want. Let's take bid on my hair tail. We got to make money, man. Not really. I mean, everything's distorted up close. Most men have bigger hands than me. I'm just small. When I was weighed yesterday, I was up to 149.6. Boy, you know, it's kind of weird. Not too many guys are in the mid 100s at my age. At my age. Unless they're doing meth. Mob! Lynn! Lynn, uh-oh. Lynn hasn't seen me yet. Ring the Cancer Society got you. Yep, bullet's gone. I don't know, Tammy. I know you're not a fan of him. Admittedly, there are times he says things, but so do I, Tammy. I say things people get very offended at. I do. But if it's the truth, then that's too bad. You know, I try to be diplomatic, but sometimes I just can't. Thank you, Sydney. My boy cut the hair. Yes, Joey? Where is Sam? You were doing Uber? Right on. Right on. You like it, Lynn? The question is, I better not ask this, I'll get in trouble. Forget it. Filter, Mike, filter. Filter firmly in place. All right, get all this done. It's called easy trout. Shelter in place. So all that baloney in Pennsylvania, 5 cops on a search warrant, shot, 3 dead. And thankfully, the shooter ended up getting taken out by the police as well. You know, there really is a problem in this country. A little bit. Be unfiltered. I was going to say, how many women in the room, she said it, Neek said it, how many women in the room are more aroused by me with my haircut versus long? Everybody put a pink hand in the room for yes on the short. I talked about that this morning, Kim. I agree with it. Hollywood and some of the liberals, Don Lemon, are very angry about it, saying this is a compromise of free speech. Well, I just got fired for free speech, and they can justify it and rationalize it, even though it was wrong. But they got something floating around on Facebook that the feds are investigating him because he made an accusation on there that wasn't true, with his making fun of Trump, making fun of Charlie's assassination. Now, Michael has never made fun of somebody assassinated. That is off limits. I may not like somebody, but when you get rid of somebody because you don't agree with them by shooting them, that is 100% anti-constitutional. That's not what this country was built on. The British came over here to fight us. When we fought for our freedom, we had to fight back. But nobody should shoot anybody because this view is different than yours. That's not okay. We can disagree. We fight with the weapon of our mind, educated with intelligence. You know, I'm not going to fight a thug fight down on the street because I'll lose every time. The smartest people can outpower the gangs and the thugs if they put it together right, okay? We don't fight with violence. We fight with truth. We fight with intellect. And this country was built on the freedom of thought. But you cross lines. And like I said earlier today when I was burning stuff in the yard, the lumber leftovers, when you do have freedom of speech. I have freedom of speech to go anywhere and say anything I want. However, do I really? All right, come on back quick, Lynn. You got to be careful. I was saying in my video earlier, I have freedom of speech, but I'm not going to walk into the DNC, the Democrat National Convention, and walk in saying, Trump, Trump, you guys are all losers. Can I do it? Yeah, but is it the place that I should do that? No. So do we have the freedom? Yes, we do. And what I said about freedom is best exercised under self-control and self-policing. You want to be a biker? You want to ride a Harley because you like the freedom of the road and your bike? Does that mean you should break the traffic laws, lane split, and terrorize everybody on the road and intimidate everybody? You can, but is it prudent? Is it right? No. Is it right for a Democrat to walk into the Republican National Convention and start yelling and screaming and acting like a horse's butt? No, not the place. So it comes down to respect. Now, I'm going to be vocal about some things. When you hear somebody on Capitol Hill, like Ilhan Omar saying some of the things she says, that woman does not have any business in political office. And I'm going to say it right now, this country was not built on Islam at all. At all. Okay, it was built on freedom of religion. But what we have to do is unpack something right now. Islam does not believe in the freedom of religion. At all. You want to take a Bible into Kuwait during Desert Storm, the troops were forbidden to do that. You were on their soil. And to that I say, well, if you don't want a truth of the Bible in their personal gear, then we shouldn't be fighting this war, should we? Just my opinion. But yet a Muslim can come here and build a mosque. But I cannot go to Iran and start a Christian church. So I would put a caveat in our Constitution and say, people that come from other countries, specifically Muslim, that have no tolerance for other religions, they're not going to be allowed to build mosques and Islamic education centers over here. Fair is fair, said the Hare. I don't agree with Buddhism. I don't agree with Mormonism and Jehovah's Witness and all that. But I believe in the right for people to practice their faith and believe what they want, right or wrong. When their faith destroys people and property, it's time for that faith to be ejected. Okay? Something to think about. Islam does not afford us what they demand of themselves. They want us to recognize them. They want us to, allow them to have their freedom. But do they allow us to have it? That's right, Grim, absolutely. That's right. No one should be making fun of an assassin person. Love thy neighbor, Tammy. Let's talk about that. What does that look like? What does it look like? If a Muslim family moved in next door to me, I'm going to treat them the same way as any other neighbor. If they're making noise and disturbing me, I'm going to try to, hey, my name's Michael, I live next door. I can't sleep. Let me tell you what a lady said at Denver schools, Malika. Malika was from Morocco, Casablanca. She's Muslim, she had the hijab and all that. She was a very interesting lady. I walked over to her in the break room right away and started talking to her. She's very animated when she spoke in Moroccan. It sounded like she was angry when she talked to her friends. We had some pretty healthy disagreements, Islam versus Christianity. But I liked Malika. I liked her energy. And the last day of school when we're out in the employee parking lot, she says, Michael, I wanted to tell you, you were the only one that accepted me, got to know me, and talked to me. I said, really? Yeah. I said, I like you, Malika. She goes, even though we have different views, you accepted me. I said, I do. That's what Christ would have us to do. Christ went to the woman of the well in Samaria. You did not, the Jews, the devout religious Pharisees, oh no, you don't talk to people down there, Samaritans. They're the scum of the earth. Jesus tells that woman, go get me some water. You know what you're doing? I know what I'm doing. Give me some water. And he built rapport with her. And he had an inroad. And he says, go get your husband. Well, I don't have a husband. And he looks right through her heart and says, you're right. You had this man, this man, this man, this man. She goes running back to town. You guys need to come out here. I think we found the one who's supposed to come. You got to hear him. Boom. We cannot be separatists in that way. If God opened the door for me to go to a Muslim country and have an impact, then I better get up and get on the bus. I don't believe that God's going to use me in an Islamic country. I just don't see that happening. But what if he did? Then I better get up and saddle up, right? We got too many comfortable Christians in America. We do have a guilt complex of us versus them. And we stay in our little comfort zone now. It's okay to get upset. Ilhan Omar, she doesn't build bridges. She's on the other end of a bridge with one of those T-handles waiting for you to step on it. That's the kind of person she is. And I'm going to be vocal about it. She has no business in politics. She really has no business over here. I met a woman from Iran in the rec center, at the Wheatridge Rec Center. I'm going to talk to you about her. An older woman, very nice. We were walking the Lazy River. It's a S-curves with a jet of current that goes through there. And for fun, when there was nobody in it, I'd get on top of the water and swim against it. I'm going to tell you that that is the hardest thing I have ever done. I was able to do one lap around, but it took all the turbo power I got to do it. You got that jet current, out water's moving. I'm like, can you imagine being in a raging river? You'd never be able to swim up. You'd have to just drift. Lady and I were walking and talking. She was pretty. She was Iranian. She says, I don't know what your beliefs are, Michael, but I hope you do not take it for granted, the freedom you have. I hear people in your culture attacking your Constitution. Oh my gosh, I said, ma'am, I am happy to hear that. Michael, I grew up in Iran. We don't vote. We can't drive. I could not be out in public in a bathing suit like I am now. I wanted to come to America, Michael. I love America. And I see people in this country, they're fighting against the good that this country stands for. They need to go to Iran and see what it's like to be oppressed. You got foreigners coming over here looking at the left going, what are you doing? You got Cubans. They wanted to come here. Biden didn't want them in because they won't vote Democrat. So he wanted the Haitians to come in. Haiti's been doing a great job running that country, huh? No. You know, come on, folks. I mean, I'm sorry to be rude, but pull your head out between the cheeks and figure it out. But we as Christians, it's absolutely okay to have our convictions. But if there's a Muslim in your workplace, are you going to do what everybody else does? No, what's that? She's got a hijab on. Why don't you go talk to them? They criticized Donald Trump for something that he did that was very huge. And I'm going to say it. Forgive me, Tammy. The Democrats did not praise him at all. They just criticized him on this. Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un were going back and forth with barbs. Yellow Man, Rocket Man. It was actually quite comical. The Democrats were having a meltdown about that. Rocket Man. But guess who went to see him? Guess who went to go visit him? And if you notice something, Kim Jong-un, there were no more rockets. There was no more threats. Because you know why? Whether he loves America or not, which he doesn't. Even a hardened dictator has to be affected that Trump took the time and said, can I visit you? Do you know some of the monsters in our society are monsters because nobody loved them? We're human, right? Somebody's acting creepy. We're like, ooh, get away from him or her. What if all they needed was a hug? What if all that creepiness and everything just went and they broke and cried, nobody's ever hugged me? We don't know what's going through their head. And our society's getting worse than trust. It's getting really bad. I'm thinking about what I'm going through. I'm not trying to menstruate all over the internet, but I am. Losing my job, even though I did no wrong. That was a blow. I have suffered depression. I'm not a depression person. I have circumstantial depression. It goes up and down according to what's going on out there. And I love Malika as a person. I did not agree with her or Islam at all. But you know what? We respected each other. We respected each other. And she told me one day, you know, Michael, I'm driving the bus. And this kid stand up in the back of the bus and he said, I don't got to listen to you. I said, what route was that on? She goes, you passed me, Michael, on your route. I said, if you're having a problem, you wave at me. I will stop the bus, I'll have my monitor, watch my kids, and I will walk across the street and say, you got a problem, young man? She'd tell you to sit down, sit down. Michael doesn't favor my groupies. Okay? That's Christ. That's Christianity. That's Christianity in action. And she may never come to Christ, but she will always remember that Michael, that one guy that spoke to her, didn't treat her like she was subhuman. Now, a lot of people would question at my workplace me talking about the African American culture. I did no wrong there. It needs to be talked about. And the reason? Because they're projecting. Racist, racist. Everybody's racist, racist, racist. You got racism, we don't. Yeah, you do. And you're making a lot of broad brush statements, and I'm going to challenge those. I've already proven I've lost my job. I got nothing left to lose. If the whole town of Augusta blackballs me, well, then these boots are made for walking. You know, I'm not. And that lady at the hair salon today told me this. She saw that video and she looked right at it. She goes, oh my gosh, you didn't say anything that was racist. She said, you said the truth. I've lived here my whole life and I've seen this right here in this town. She said, don't you ever stop saying what you're saying, Michael. She goes, that's awesome. I respect you as a man. She goes, yeah, it sucks you got fired, but you're going to get a job. So, I'll tell you what, folks. How far are you willing to go? A lot of people agree with me. A lot of people, but guess what else is happening? I find it interesting at the same time I lose my job. We're watching things take place in this country. Charlie got assassinated. And that emboldens me even more. Because I'm like, oh, really? You got some young kid in a gay relationship, and that's what we're going to call it. A young kid in a gay relationship. Yes, he was an adult, but a college kid. And he doesn't like what Charlie says, so he premeditates to kill the guy. That is never okay. I don't like Louis Farrakhan, but I do not have the right to wait and lie in wait and shoot him. Louis Farrakhan is a rabble rouser, and it is believed by many that he killed Malcolm X. His daughter to this day believes that. And where was the law? Where was the FBI? So was there racism? Was there favoritism? Was there good old buddy? That absolutely still goes on. Why wasn't that looked into? Louis Farrakhan is insane. This Million Man March, the things that come out of his mouth. He's the Nation of Islam. I mean, he's a radical. Anybody remember that? Sydney. What are you saying? What is going on back here? Thank you, Powder Puff. Well, not everybody backs me. All right, Sydney, you want preaching? Let's preach. When Jesus came into Jerusalem on Palm Sunday, they said, Hosanna, Hosanna, wave palm branches. Blessed are you who comes in the name of the Lord. Did you know out of that same crowd a week later, they were shouting, crucify him? The fickleness of people. The fickleness of people. I mean, here's God. He did not sin. And look what they did to him. Look what they did to him. This is something we need to capitalize on. Religious leaders. I love it when people tell me, you're religious. We're all religious, but I'm not religious in the way you're flinging that at me. I religiously brush my teeth every day. I religiously get out of bed and use the toilet every day. When I go to work, I religiously go to work unless I'm sick. I religiously check the oil and the fluids in my own trucks or vehicles that are CDL. Religion is ritual. It's doing the same thing again and again. The religious leaders were off the wall, and they didn't like Jesus because Jesus didn't come up to them and say, hey, we're going to kick Rome's butt, dudes. No, he walked into the temple and flipped the tables over and got a whip of cords and drove out the money changers. How dare you turn my father's house into a market? Are you listening to that, church, in 2025? How dare you turn Christianity into a market? That goes for your big multi-million-dollar power evangelists. Man, don't go there. Some of the most used by God, men of God, are in those tiny little churches around the USA that are faithfully declaring the Word of God. Not these big mega storm churches. Be very careful. When you got a massive movement like that, a good chance there's some false teaching, big money trail. Be very, very careful. Yes, Sydney. Jesus was not an immigrant. I like that. Jesus was not an immigrant. And yet the Bible tells us we're aliens. When you are a Christian, you are an alien. The world is not our home. And watch this. We forget that. We get caught up in stuff just like our secular counterparts. Not good. I'm going to sit down and eat. I hope that's okay. I want to continue the stream, so I got to get my little crate to set on the table, get my bubbly burst, and get comfortable. Is everybody okay with that? We were put here to invest in our eternity. Thank you, Patty. I know, F55. Yo, cut. Yep, cake. Have my cake and eat it too. Look at that. You get my... Everybody, there. The fact is, folks, it's okay to talk about political issues. As a Christian, we better be involved in our world as much as we can be. All right, what do we got? Well, thank you, Cake. I thought it'd be time for a change. They paint it black, then they watch it burn. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Move with the times and melt with the past. See my London phone booth door? I love it. I love my London. Oh, I gotta get my bubbly burst. The bridge started me on this stuff, and she is awesome people. Actually, I found it at the flea market. I never saw the guy again. And according to my other friend who knows him, said he cannot find it. That it's not in the stores. I don't know where this stuff is. Yes, Patty, but yes, we need balance. People said Charlie Kirk was political. I wouldn't say that. I would say that I think that Charlie was pretty well-rounded. God, faith, country, family, you know. Selena, you better not leave this chat, or I'll send out the posse and find you. Augusta. I think it'd be funny to move to Augusta name, Maine. And all that changes is the zip code and the street. Wait, and the state. Really? I haven't been there. Are you talking Blue Ridge, the town, or the mountains? This was compliments of Bridge. Bless her for that. I wish she'd come in here. Blue Ridge, Georgia. Is that over there by, is it Helen? What's the name of that little German style town? Bridge, did you see me? Nobody's chased me down here, Cornbread. This is another planet down here. Helen, okay. 2 hours north of Atlanta. Yep, the hair's gone. Really, William? What river is that? Feels good to sit down. I stand all the time. Yeah, Bridge, I think you're right. I feel like I look older. Lara Shia said I look, who was it that said I look 35? Or was it Tammy? I could have, but I didn't ask the lady that does my hair that permission. There was nobody in the shop. She wanted to know what it was I said that got me fired, and I played the video for her. About a week because it was so frizzy. Oh, it's so weird to reach up and not feel it. That's weird. I reached up and you're expecting to feel it. Even though I know it's not there. It's getting so tangled. I wash it regular. Hey, Mr. Wisconsin. Welcome. I gotta find out how to do that. Lynn, she saved, I had her save that part, not the stuff that was on the floor, but that much of it. I have in my room. Hey, Jacqueline. Yeah, the fray, I was getting split ends, and something changed after COVID. After COVID came, the pH in my hair or something changed, shifted. This was what was on the floor after she cut the rest. Lots of hair. Utah is beautiful. I've been across I-80, up to Ogden. Is it 15? No, what is the one? Yeah. I can't remember. Is it 15 that goes through? I stayed in St. George one night. Oh, really? You thought it was another channel? All the frizziness and the tangling. And I just thought it was time for a new look for a while. It'll grow back. You live in St. George. Oh my gosh. Hi, Erica. Delete because it was time for a change. I tip my lady. I hate that. Swallow something the wrong way, cough it up, it shoots up into your nose. Then you go like that, goes back down, it makes you cough again. Stupid. Guess I should stop shoveling so much in my mouth at a time. Nothing right now. I'm considering maybe doing, I got to find out some factors first. I got to see what the cost is, but I may do some medical assistant schooling just to change it, get out of the weather. Not that hard to take blood pressure and have somebody stand on a scale. What are you here to see the doctor for? Put the blood pressure thing on, check their breath, all that stuff. You know, popcorn casings, yeah. Now, we talked about that, Jeff. It's not as easy as everybody thinks. I Cash App. I'm going to leave it in the room. Pacific Ocean Asia is my Cash App. The cash tag, Pacific Ocean Asia, one word, 77. The number 77. AdSense is too much. Well, I'm seeing now. I got some feelers out for a couple of CDL jobs right now. Specifically, resumes. Thank you, Bridge. Yeah, but no, if you're in a medical office, that's easy. Like I went to the Nova clinic yesterday. I asked the guy about it. He's been in there for years and he likes it. I'm good with people, and you're not going to have stupid discussions in there. You got patients coming in, you do what you do, you move them along. You know, you're not there to get into stupid discussions. Yeah, you know what they want for a mailbox over here? My friend who lived here had one out in Thompson, and it was cheap. Here, it's like $300 a year. I said, now why would they charge more for the post office in this neighborhood? Cornbread, that'd be awesome. It's 80s today, a little hot. Not as bad as the 90s. Yeah, it was $50 a year here, I'd do it. Then people could just send something and it's safe there. It's not in a mailbox on the street. Aiden, I got it cut today. No, I've had my CDL since 1990 in Minnesota. Class B, P2, no air brake restrict, no hazmat. I almost got it. I was going to get it in Duluth years ago because they had ICO trucks, inner city oil, that delivered fuel oil to the houses. And it's a pretty easy job. You just spool the hose out, you have a cap on the side of the house, you have however many gallons they request or fill it, write out the receipt and go on to your next delivery. Steal your kid's tooth fairy money. Now that's funny. That is funny. Mr. E-Rock, how are you? I know, Sharon. It's a wild look. Did they still do the tooth fairy thing? I don't know. That's a good question. How's Amber doing? Because it was getting snaggly, raggedy, and tangly and frizzy. That's good. 3 years ago, literally this maybe October. Thank you, Philip. Yeah, William, before I got on here, I said, well, and I sent him a picture of the clippings around the barber chair. I said, let's see what they all fuss about in chat tonight. I know what you're saying, Brenda, but my strength is still there. Did I give it to the birds? That'd be funny. Look up at the tree and see a red nest. Mommy, we don't want to leave the nest. This is comfy. Jody, you're probably right. Thank you, TJ. Thank you, Rennie. I just saw your comment flash up. Thank you for that, too. Really, Tyler? Congratulations. Tyler's getting married tomorrow, folks. Here comes the bride, all dressed in white. Da, 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 da. Skill-based matchmaking in Call of Duty is the worst thing to happen in gaming. That's funny. It does. I'll probably get chills at night now with the ceiling fan on. Last day to change your mind. Military update. Well, Tyler, we need to pray that this lasts. Lord, we pray for Tyler as he's about to get married, that you put it there, your hand on his marriage with him and his wife. Help him through the ups and the downs, and to give him the strength to get through the tough times and the low times. Help them love each other. We pray that you bless him in Jesus' name. Amen. They put it in the barbed wire fence. That's funny. Yep, we always want to encourage marriage here. Thank you, Jeff. Harold, go back. Hey, Hunt the back. How are you? I have to get one of those Emma Fudd hats with the flappy. I need a bandana. Learn how to tie it off. That'll protect my head when it's hot. You think Bridge will get married? Mac and cheese again, tuna rice, and peas and carrots. Hey, Bridge, you still in here? Oh, there she is. I should have known. I just asked her, she's there. Tyler, you keep that out of your mouth. One thing about Bridge, I'm thinking of the North Atlantic in World War II. You'd have these big ocean liners out there and they can't see what's under the water. Sometimes you think Bridge isn't here and she's like a U-boat. And the minute somebody says something involving her, she surfaces. I'm here. Uh-oh. Yeah, Hunt, we got it shaved today. We got a Tractor Supply over by Sam's Club. I should go over there one day. Attentive multitasker. Bridge does not miss a beat. That much I do know. I'm not for women in the military, but I will tell you this. If I had to be in a foxhole, I'd be pretty comfortable with Bridge sitting next to me. Both of us with a magazine clip wrapped around our chest and a gun. She'd be on it. That's right, Jody. And I got a story about that. I'm going to take you back to Hong Kong about this because I made a friend in Hong Kong. Her name was Kate. She was a Filipina, but she was more of a toughie. But she was the one that cut my hair when I lived over there. She had Kate House of Beauty, the hair salon down in central Hong Kong. She told me she had a place to rent. And I lived out there for what, 2 months? It was nice. I had my own little bedroom with a door. She was in a nice flat. And we were on Lantau Island in the village of Moi Wah. And I would take the ferry, 45 minutes across the South China Sea. Man, that was my favorite thing, was riding the ferry. I'd sit on the capstan where you wrap the ship's ropes around and hold on to the stern rail and watch the prop wash. Man, I used to love that. The sun would be setting and you're leaving Hong Kong and all those skyscrapers. And I'd watch it. And I'd walk well over a mile. You get off at the dock, and they had this big, poles, steel girders in a pole building, huge. Thousands of rusty bicycles. And the locals on the island would bicycle down to the ferry dock to go to Hong Kong to work. And I go back and forth every day. And I got up in the morning before Kate would awake. Then I'd go in the kitchen, fix my oatmeal. Sometimes I sit at the table in the living room and then I'd already eat it in the kitchen. And she got up one morning early and she come out and put her hand on her hips. Michael, why you eat out of the pot? I said, I always do that, Kate. No, you're not doing that in my house. Look, the window, they see, they go, why caveman live in your house, eat out of the pot? I started laughing. I said, Kate, I did less dishes. I just washed the pot before I go to Hong Kong. Michael, you put that in a plate or a bowl, not eat out the pot. Yes, ma'am. Oh, she got so fired up about that. Hey, no, it's number one. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Oh, Tyler, that sucks. To be in a place. I watched a video on YouTube. I wish I could remember the guy's name. He was spot on. He was from the UK. He had a right-hand drive car, and he was doing a video. And the premise of the video was, do not work so hard at your job. He said, you'll never move up. You'll never get the approval or the favor of others. They'll just load more work onto you. And he said, I've noticed something over the years. The ones that hang out with a cup of coffee and chatty up with everybody that do the least, they're the ones that get moved up into the positions. I started thinking about the place I just left. I thought, man, is that the dang truth? Said you invest your heart and soul into it and it ain't worth it. Because you got 100 slackers and you're busting your butt. Oh, I'll get it done. Why are you still? I want to get this done before I leave tonight. Leave, finish it tomorrow. And I've always believed in working 110%. But when you do that, wow. LinkedIn, I'm not even on that. Yeah, exactly, Lord Prep. But he had a good stick on his channel. I subbed to him. I wish I could remember his name. He had that British accent, but I'm like, wow, this guy's spot on. And I read the comments. Endless comments. Everybody was complaining about their workplace and what went on. Everybody. There wasn't a comment in there. People say, oh my gosh, this is so true in my workplace. Oh my gosh. It's nice when a YouTube artist can talk about a topic that's a touchstone for all of us. And the reward is to read the comments. Sometimes I get more for the comments. Hey, Angie. Yeah, I knew it was going to shock everybody. I was like, watch, I'm going to get on here and everybody's going to go, It's weird because when I look at myself, it's just so stark. So absolutely stark. Where is... There's what's left of it. I don't have the picture in here. There it is, Angie. I had her save that. List of domains with juicy endpoints, and I'm looking for bugs. What are you talking about, Tyler? I don't know. Somebody was saying I was donate. I was joking around saying somebody want to buy it and help me out. This is what was left after that. She cut off that big piece, and then that was, man, that's a lot of hair. I kind of, for a minute, when I stared down after I got out of the chair, got sad. I said, oh my gosh, it's gone. It becomes a part of you. But sometimes new is good. It'll grow. Thank you, Jeff. But I think it's interesting this week to watch what's happening. The fallout from Jeff Kirk's assassination goes on. I mean, we know his spirit's present with the Lord, but his body's, I guess they're going to have a big memorial at the Coliseum down there in Phoenix. I hope that they, I don't know what cemetery they're putting him in, but they better make sure that that's watched. I don't trust these scoundrels at all. They do not need to broadcast where he's buried because I'm sure vandals would show up. Did you, Angie? Hello, Fred Rogers. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Yes, dog eat dog. I know, don't be sad. I know, I look different. But I hope that there's no attempts at vandalizing his gravesite. These lowlifes so stupid, nothing. Nothing stops their madness. Very sad. I don't think we need to worry about protesters showing up at that Coliseum. I think they're going to have some pretty good security there. Thank you, dog eat dog. I know. I hemmed and hawed, and I finally hawed and said, cut it. And the thing is, it was getting tough. I'm combing it, and it's tangled, and spending 5 minutes to comb it out. Thank you, Mr. Rogers. Dapper. I used to say that to a gentleman, a Mexican guy that had more white skin. He wore one of those old-fashioned Charlie Chaplin hats. I said, "You're looking dapper today, sir." "Oh, really?" I said, "You look like Charlie Chaplin. You know who he is." He goes, "Of course." And that was so cool. He was such a class act guy. ZZ Top Beard. There you go. I want to thank you again, Bridge. This hits the spot. Well, nobody can say I look like a sissy anymore. That much is true. I should get a green beret. Now that would be sharp. Get me a green beret and buy me a MG convertible and go cruise through Vermont in the fall with my head tilt back. Be fun to have a little Sportster stick. Go through Vermont in the fall with your little beret hat on. That'd be fun. That's awesome, Patty. Oh, really? Where is it, Mystery Rockin'? Thank you. Got it. Well, thank you, whoever did that. Ah, I see. Got you. Not it. Tag, you're it. Ouch. Something grabbed the hair on my leg and pulled it. So what do you guys, let's weigh in. Yeah, I'm with you, Max. The summers in Georgia are too much. I don't know anybody. Well, there's a gentleman that worked in the spot I was in at work. He said he loved it hot. I joked. I said, I knew there was something wrong with you. He'd laugh. I said, you like the heat in Georgia in the summer? Oh, he loves it hot. Subway has good salads. Not at all. I will shout out other people's channels all the time. We all got our niche. Thank you, Michelle. How are you? Did I scare you? You go, what happened to him? People are going to think I'm a chemo patient. Yep, that's what I had to do with this. That's good, Michelle. You know, Dog Eat Dog, when I first did this after Helene, I think it was about a month. I thought 50 subs, and all I got to work with is 60 or 15-second shorts. How do I do anything in shorts? I didn't even know I could do a 3-minute short. I didn't know I could do a 60-second short. So I just started doing goofy things. And boom, it didn't take long. Salsa dancing in Savannah's neat when it's hot. I'm sure you were. Whoops, what is this? Well, that's good. Facebook is Reels. YouTube is Shorts. TikTok's its own universe. I don't do TikTok. Thank you, Harry. How to put an end to all the mullet complainers. I can pull 1,000 or more on shorts. It depends. The one I did, the country song with the lineup of people getting fired, I think that's at what, 1,400 now? I like to keep on pulse with current events. I'll pull pictures off the internet, pull the song, put it together, shoot it out there, and people love that. That's fun. Colette, it's too much. I talked about this in the room the other day at length. AdSense, it's a monstrosity. Then they can pull you, ban your channel, shut you down. I'd rather go rogue. I don't want to be under. Now I have to place ads. I have to do. They take 40% on super chats. They take 30% on other. And who was in here just this morning saying that you don't make anything on AdSense. You got to have tons of views. Now, there's a need for that though. Scripture is good. Jordan, I got rid of it today. I got Cash App. Pacific Ocean Asia is the cash tag. All one word. Pacific Ocean Asia 77. 77. Numa. It is disgusting. And I'm like, why should my viewers have 40% of their money zapped to Google when they intended it for me? That's not right. %40 is just stupid. And Google's greedy. Look at what they pull down in ads money daily. It's ridiculous. And there is not one Google ad on a YouTube video that I have seen that has anything to do with my interest world. How many of you can say that? How many of you seen commercials on a YouTube video that had anything to do with your universe and interest? Well, thank you, Tyler. It is, but since I've had Cash App, I got a whopping $1. So a lot of people said they're going to donate. I can't force that. People either are or they're not. Colette, you don't understand. It's a university degree to figure out how to go through the YouTube studio. It takes an hour just to set up the tax thing. Why? All I have to do is have a blank W-2. I can do withhold it a higher single rate, blah, blah, blah. And it's just, there's too much that you got to do. And since they're taking their cut of the money, they should set that up, not me. And again, you got to have mega views to turn a profit. You got to have like thousands of views to get a penny from AdSense. It's just ridiculous. Pointless. I'm not the big boys like Benny Johnson, Mark Dice, and the others that can make a full-time living at this. I don't know what drives the market. I've talked about that all the time. You can be a girl with no bra on and get all the views and hits, and they'll send her money willingly. You can be Mark Dice. You can be Louder with Crowder. You can be redonkulous. Real talk. I don't like real talk. I think he's arrogant. Got a ball cap on backwards. Jordan Riley. He's making $62,000 a year on his YouTube. $62,000. That's crazy. I don't even make half of that working for transportation. And I work harder than Jordan does. Hands down. It's crazy. It's just not right. Anything on the edge? What do you mean by showcasing? That, Jordan, that. Thank you for reminding me. They don't want to pay for the truth. And I've said it before, the truth is not for sale. Talking about Jimmy Kimmel. 15 million a year, worth 50 million. People say he got fired. No, they temporarily suspended indefinitely. Man, that doesn't hurt him. That doesn't hurt him at all. Who cares? That is moot. If I made $15 million in 1 year, I'd cash out at the end and say, bye. I mean, the only way I'd stay in the business is if I really was doing something with it. But when I look at the world the way it is, first of all, where's Kimmel out of? New York? Where's the studio? I don't want to live in New York. Heck no. $15 million sounds like a lot. These guys are probably living in a dang skyscraper apartment worth $20 million. I mean, no thanks. Hey, CJ. That's it. I need somebody with me. I can't do everything myself. I try, but a man's got to know his limitations. California. Okay, so what is he, LA? Do you know what it costs in LA? Of course, again, you're making $15 million a year. Shoot, if I bought a $500,000 house in LA, paid it off, which I would. Of course, Gavin Newsom wouldn't let me drive my M35A2 around. I'm sure he'd have a fit about that. I said, well, it's green. There goes my green. That's my green truck, bro. And it is saving the environment because it's called recycling. And when all your electric grid crashes and all your Teslas are parked, guess what? I'm going to work. Ha! I'd love to go around Hollywood Boulevard in the Deuce. I think that'd be funny just to put my own symbolic finger in the face to the people. I have no interest in a Tesla. None. If I had the money, I would do that truck up, go over it. New tires, the works. Tint the windows a little bit. Man, I would have so much fun. I'm happy driving that, but it's not practical when you don't make a lot of money. But CJ, it will grow back. Kimmel is not hurting. Him getting, even if he got fired, is not the same as me. What did I make last year? Less than 30? That's ridiculous. 15 million. For what? He's not even funny. Man, there was a George Carlin thing. George Carlin was funny. Robin Williams was funny. You know who was funny? Newhart. Remember Bob Newhart? He had a dry humor, but he was funny as heck. Well, thank you, CJ. Carlin was a little too crass for me, but there were things he said that were spot on. At least he told the truth. Kimmel? Kimmel's a political comedian pro-left. Not really being kind to, and that's the problem. TV's just been hijacked by Democrats, and it's like, we all used to watch TV. Everybody. Yeah, Jordy, he wasn't funny at all. I didn't find any of it stupid. Gutfeld could be funny, but sometimes I'll look at Gutfeld and I'm like, dude, nobody's laughing. Sometimes they try too hard. It's very rare to find a comedian that has you rolling in the aisles. Really, really, that takes a talent. But a Gutfeld, at least he speaks facts. Man, I loved it when he went after that woman the other day. He let her have it. He said, no, I think it was Kim. He said, that's like speaking pig Latin to a duck. It doesn't work. I'm like, pig Latin to a duck. Now that was good. Doggy. Yeah, Mystery Rock, absolutely. Some of these people on the left don't have any talent, any skill. They're just followed by their little groupies. The View is a classic. The View is a TBP, toilet bowl production. There's no professional journalism behind that desk that says the big vagina. Yes, I said that because when I see that, that's all I think of. I have no respect for them. I mean, talk about a bunch of middle schoolers that never grew up. They act like that. They character assassinate. They just blah. Oprah or Whoopi. Every time she opens her mouth, she inserts feet. She made a comment, 2 years ago? Saying something about the Holocaust and downplaying it, saying, the Holocaust was not as bad as racism. What did you just say? Man, she got spanked for that one. Yeah, it was racism. Far worse than what went on over here in America. Come on now. Dang. Hey, Top Shelf, how are you? Hello, Masood. Cartoon Network. Nick at Night. There, get myself a Popeye shirt. Look at that golden glow. The fire's still in my hair. I hear the hair. The hair is screaming, "You cut us." No! Hi, Christopher. Yep, butchered it. Butchered it. Thank you. Sometimes change is good. It'll grow back. I won't have to go to the hair salon for a long time. Yep, I got to install mine. I need to get the base cabinet or the vanity. Cowboy hat? I don't have one. Give me a Stetson. Did you see my short, North of Richmond? I love that song. That guy was from West Virginia. He had no idea that thing would take off. Bullshit job with bullshit pay. It's damn shame. Man, he spoke the truth in that. Powerful song. I'm going to grow it back out for now. It'll be a while. Out in the West Texas town of El Paso, I fell in love with a beautiful girl. At the Beatles. That's funny. Did I lose all the ladies in here? Where's all the ladies in the house? Bridge, are you still here? She's probably at her computer working. I know she isn't watching The View. What a stupid show. And I get so mad at that. It is not The View. There she is. Hello. Is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes. It's been a long day, night. Wow, you make your own food too? That's awesome. The View. Just the fact they named it The View was insulting. And I say it is not The View, it's A View. The View? Every time I see that big V, I think, all that's on there is vaginas. I know, that's not nice. That's it. They asked Ron DeSantis. He said, no thanks, I'm good. Can you blame him? They've character assassinated him so bad, call him a Nazi. That's awesome, Bridge. I'm dope. The Viewgina. Yeah, that's accurate. Look, if I want an opinion of a bunch of middle school girls, I just go to middle school, not The View. Stupid. They're immature. They're not professional. They do not know what they're talking about. They're just haters. It's a stupid show. I missed that, Max. That would have been fun. A nice view of Chewbacca she's giving me. Oh, that was a trip. I could see Princess Leia and Bridge having something in common. That quote, I remember it well. Yeah, if we get this walking carpet out of the way, she said that about Chewbacca, and he made that oh noise. You remember that, Bridge? Princess Leia, I'll never forget when that movie aired and she had those side buns. That was truly unique. She was beautiful. And that hairstyle, boy, that grabbed everybody. Very, very much in the vogue then. Hello, Eugenia. You still love me, Eugenia? You didn't answer my question when you left a comment. I'm sad. I don't want you hating me. She's grieving. Thank you. Yep, I agree, Fred. I know. You think about Lucas, though, he's pretty brilliant. I didn't like that he mixed his Eastern religious beliefs in there, but the costume, the makeup, the decor, the stage set for that had to be just phenomenal. Just the spaceships. Oh my gosh. A city just going through space. I mean, that to me, as a kid, I mean, they had in Cheech and Chong, and that was good, but Star Wars brought movie viewing into a whole new dimension. 77, 78, with a mammoth theater, which was a flat floor, and a Frankenstein sat in front of you. Good luck seeing the screen. Thank you, Eugenia. I love you too. But the costumes, the characters, I mean, incredible. How much would it cost to put all that together? It had to be phenomenal. Thank you, Lyd. I did not get into Star Trek. I remember it as a kid on the TV. I thought it was boring. It just didn't do anything for me. Star Wars got my attention. The TIE fighters. The action. I think they filmed some of that in Saudi, didn't they? They filmed some of that in the desert. Luke Skywalker's home. Was that out in Saudi Arabia? Where was that? Gladiator. Oh, Eugenia, that's awesome. You make me feel like such a man. If only I could have you lean against my chest and I hold you. Smell your hair. I don't know. Snugglebugs, yes. The scenery in Star Wars. How do you come up with Yoda and Ewoks and Jawas? I mean, I had a cheeseburger and I thought of you. Nikki! Hey, Outlaw, how are you? If this, the ambassadorship, where is the ambassador? Ralph, it's me. Mullet is gone. That's good. I'm all right, Outlaw. Frustrated. The guy was supposed to text me about time to meet him, and he never did that, so don't know what's going on there. But I said, well, Lord, instead of wasting everybody's time, just put me where you want me. That's all. Cheeseburgers in paradise. I've got cheeseburgers in paradise. Buy me a cheeseburger, tell me I'm pretty. That's what she told me the other day. I said, do you want pickles and relish? And she glared at me. Did I say I wanted condiments? Just give me a cheeseburger and tell me I'm pretty. 1977. Yeah, okay, so that was it. So I was what, 11 years old then? I remember going with my cousin, my favorite cousin. Thank God God used me to reach him to bring to Christ. Because of what happened with Charlie, we've been communicating. Folks, we got to hold on to good relationships because the devil and social media in the world, you know, they want us all to just... I sat in the clinic yesterday. There must have been 10 other people. Every one of us was doing this on our phone, scrolling and looking. Black gal sitting next to me. It didn't even dawn on me she was a coworker. She's laughing and she's scrolling and giggling hard at what she was watching. And then she went back, came out, went to leave, and I'm over my phone. I turned around and said, hi. She goes, hey, how are you? Oh, she was sitting right over there. She was a coworker. I couldn't remember. She was a monitor or a driver. It's so bad. Smash burger. So many places, including the deserts of Tunisia and California, Tatooine, the forests of California, the UK for the forest, moon of Ender. That's awesome. Wow, doggy, now that's awesome. They had the money to do it. I wonder what it cost to do the set or do the production of the first movie. A couple of my favorite pieces of music from John Williams on that. The score. Dun 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 dun. The Imperial March, and then Through the Stars is absolutely beautiful. It's a very tender piece of music. John Williams was a legendary conductor. He did the NBC Mission theme. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. He did the music to the Salt Lake Olympics. John Williams did a lot of movie music. Very good at what he did. So many places. Tunisia, wow. And imagine getting all the stage set and the people out there. I mean, that wasn't cheap. Flights, international. Man, I remember not too many years, well, the 90s. I love the Mission theme. I love the NBC News theme. NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw. That was when journalism was okay. Not perfect, but it was okay. Really? He dressed like Leia. Ralph, that would have been cool to see that. 1980. I'm living in Mammoth Lakes. In May, St. Helens went off. And a week later, we had the 3 big earthquakes, Memorial Day weekend in Mammoth, California. We used to go by Edwards or Bakersfield. I remember they had a problem with the wild donkeys getting on the runway down there, and they were running loose everywhere. No, I'm out of work right now. But I did once a week. Do you remember when they put the space shuttle on a 747 to transport it? That's pretty cool. Now, wait a minute. They would land at Edwards, and I think they would piggyback it on the 747 to, was it Cape Canaveral or Houston? Which one did it blast off from? I remember would have been, was it 85 or 86 when the Challenger blew up? I was at work, and we'd have Paul Harvey on. This is breaking news. The radio. The space shuttle has just exploded. I remember one of the gals on the assembly line, Mike, oh my gosh, that lady was on there. I said, it's horrible. I remember what a shock that was. You know, things have changed. That was huge news back then. Look at what's going on just in the space of a damn week. Now, that was a big deal then. Yes, Paul Harvey is one of my favorite radio personas, one of the best, a legend. A legend. Nobody like Paul Harvey. Everybody listened to him. Do you remember all that hatred back then? I don't. Casey Kasem. Who was that, Fred? Now that one escapes my notice. Oh, the top 20 countdown. I remember Mammoth we could get, and I wonder if Ralph Navarro remembers this. Ralph, do you remember hearing the radio station back in the 80s, the Mighty 690? Do you remember that? If weather conditions were right, we could get that in Mammoth. My sister told me, Mike, you got to hear this. They're playing all the hits. I said, what radio? I believe it was AM, the Mighty 690. Hey, Filipina. It was the frost that compromised. Wow. Yeah, I remember there was something with the O-rings. B, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, I got a cut. The Mighty 690, boy, that was a treat on a Saturday night when it skipped all the way into Mammoth and we heard the countdown of the top 20 and hello, Danny. Thank you, B. What's pirate radio? Do you remember Mighty 690? Do you remember that? Man, I remember the AM. I actually missed that. Sometimes you'd be tuning and you'd hear just this. And they say, where's this coming out of? I remember when I had a CB radio. Oh, gotcha, Ralph. I'm not familiar with that. But on the CB radio, there was what would happen called skip. Oh, really, B? I know, and now it's gone. Well, I've got some of it in my room. Good to see you, B. Wow. I'd be sitting on the, I remember it was a Saturday, it was cold and windy. I remember being in my 20s. And I'd go park up on DQ Hill. And I'd be the only one up there. Nobody was out. I'm sitting there on my realistic CB radio. And I'm hearing somebody calling out of Atlanta. Breaker 19, anybody out there? Yeah, go ahead, buddy. I'm in Prescott, Arizona. Where's everybody calling from? Arizona? I'm in Atlanta. I said, no way. Are you serious? Yeah, I'm in a semi-truck. I'm parked right outside Atlanta. I'm like, how the heck? They call it skip. I don't remember that, Ralph. Clyde Trombone discovered a planet Pluto in Flagstaff. Something about Arizona's sky is good for telescope viewing, is what I was told. Meteorite crater is fascinating. You imagine the force? That's wild. Thank you, Jamie. Appreciate it. Oh, so do I got a hope and a prayer because I don't have long hair? I don't think a lot of the Filipinos like long hair. I know that to be a fact. Mina in Nepal liked it. She thought it was cool. Mina's lively. I like Mina. She's funny. Kamusta ka, B? Ay naku, buhay pa rin life. Maganda umaga. How's Scotland doing? I would love to see the Highlands. No joke, that's always been a bucket list. The Highlands, the pictures I've seen are beautiful. Just playing I. The Highlands, Iceland, Ireland, I'd love to see. I don't want to go to the tourist spots. Iceland, I don't think it has any crime. It's not like you're going to get away with it there. Where are you going to go? You're stuck on an island. People are pretty civilized in Reykjavik. I used to collect Hard Rock Cafe t-shirts. I had a bunch. I had Reykjavik, Puerto Rico. Man, I had a bunch of them black shirts with the Hard Rock. I'd find them at the thrift store and I started buying them all. You don't even see Hard Rock anymore. Cotton black t-shirts with the Hard Rock logo on it. Puerto Rico, Reykjavik, Hard Rock Cafe in Iceland. That's funny. Thank you, Hugh. Were you shocked? Why you do haircut? Teresa! She's going to come in here and jump all over me. Just playing. Long distance relationship, not easy, man. Can't do. I miss your long hair. Look, now Teresa liked my hair long. That shocks me. You had to take a double. Somebody said they thought it was another channel till they heard the voice. That's funny. Maybe I could sit in the bathtub and go, dum, 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 dum. Hey, Mike. Good to see you. How are you? I think I had the Toronto shirt, too. I had Los Angeles. I believe I had Toronto. Reykjavik, Puerto Rico. What were all the ones I had? I had a bunch of them. Eugenia, have you seen that channel? The guy sitting on the shower chair, the water running behind him, and he's got a coat hanger on his head with things dangling, and he's holding these weights. Dum, 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 dum. Been building race cars. Yeah, I like the Hard Rock t-shirts. They were black and they were cotton. You think so? Doggy? Yep, Planet Hollywood too. Eugenia, it's a trip. All he does is sit there and say, dump, dump, dump. Oh, Teresa, I saw your comment flash. Do you still love me, Teresa? Even though I cut my hair, I needed to clean it up. It was getting too tangled and frizzy. Do you still love me? Don't hate me, please. It'll go back. I miss your long hair. Why? No, you're making me sad, Teresa. Don't do that. It's Nicholas. He's on the YouTube Lives, and he's just sitting there in the shower running behind him. Dump, dump, dump. And then yesterday, someone was saying, Donald, Donald Trump, Donald, Donald Trump, Donald, Donald. It's just, that's all he does. And people come in there and chat. I was joking around with somebody named Stacy in there. I said, what have we landed on here? Tony, yes. I did it. There is a season, turn, turn. For every purpose, turn, turn, turn. Yes, Danny, that is true. It will grow back. I've seen that, dude. I have seen that. I saw that the other day. Did you see the one that's big like Jabba the Hutt? I mean, all belly, chest, and everything. They're just sitting there. I mean, big as life. Thank you, Teresa. I would be sad if you didn't love me. Yeah, it'd take a minute to grow it out. I did flat tops years ago. Toilet seat. People will do anything to get views. A fade haircut. We're not doing a Gavin Newsom with the gel. That's gay. Cannot. Teresa and the pink hands are so cute. Teresa, how are you? Are you doing okay? Teresa Pedregosa Vogue. Flat top is hard. It only lasts for about a week. I mean, flat top looked good in the 80s on me. I don't even know what a fade is. That's good, Teresa. Good to see you. It's always good to see you. I need to go check out your videos. I need to see what you made. We'll grow it out. We'll have a butt crack down. Hey, butthead! Man, I remember the first time they started saying, "You're a butthead." I said, "That's funny." I'd have to see what that looked like. I can't believe Hulk Hogan is gone. The people that we knew, guys, are fading. David Bowie's gone. Gordon Lightfoot's gone. Robert Redford. Oh my gosh, the women thought he was such a hunk back in the day. He's gone. Mick Jagger's still going. Unbelievable. I'm great doing funny, crazy time. That's good, Teresa. It makes you happy. Not Beavis and Butthead, my friend. I never watched that show. Mike, I never did. I didn't watch South Park. I did not watch Roseanne. I thought she was a sarcastic. Yeah, you said butthead before the cartoon. Butthead. I started using that word a lot in the 90s. Man, that guy's a butthead. Well, I've seen clips. Beavis and Butthead are just weird. They're like, that's just weird. Hey, Bridge, what are you making for dinner? Omar, how are you? You think so, Mike? I think I've seen The Family Guy. Oh, okay. Are you quite the chef? It's a good sense of humor. Mashed potatoes, carrots and turnips, roast chicken and stuffing. It's all wheat free. Wow, that sounds good. I'll bet your man just loves the fact that you're his woman. Making all that good food. $20. It's $20. Ouch, Omar, that hurts. Yeah, Mr. E-Rock, that does sound good. So who's the cook, Mr. E-Rock? You or Amber or both? Well, some of it was left in the barber shop, and I've got the braided thing in my dresser. Oh gosh, yes it would. All right, Bridge, thanks for coming in. Have a good evening and please be safe. Amber, gotcha. I liked Family Guy. Fred, where are you at? I know, haircut used to be cheap. My favorite food? I'd have to say pasta. Fried rice, pasta. I know, Jay, but I needed to cut it. It was getting so tangled up and frizzy. The humidity does not help. Mr. E-Rock. Remember the little bouillon cubes? When I was a kid, you had the bouillon cubes. Those were a trip. The little chicken broth bouillon cubes. Twisted Sister, Led Zeppelin. I like Led Zeppelin. My will to sustain all of my love. All right, folks. I got to do some other contacting. I'm going to let you guys go for now. But thank you for coming. It's been fun. And Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow. Continue to pray. I do have some irons in the fire. Hopefully something pops eventually. And you guys be safe and stay sane. That's right, Amanda. Thank you. Good night, Mike, and everybody else. Have a good evening. Mr. E-Rock, thank you for... It's pretty good in here. I don't think... How many people actually got kicked out tonight? Anybody? See you, doggy.